So my favorite story that I like to tell is when we went ghost hunting in the Lewis County Museum, which was 10 or 12 years ago. We went up there with one person who had done ghost hunting in there a lot and had done ghost hunting in other places too. This was our very first time. It was, we were all kind of a little nervous as we were going through. There was, I think, 4 of us. And we all stayed together, we walked together. When we got up there, the person that had done these ghost tours in the past was very familiar. And she put a recorder right at the top of the stairs on a table. And, she said the usual things like, if there's any ghosts up here, if you'd like to talk into this, or if you want to tap on it, or say your name or your age or things like that. And Kathy and I were both there, by the way, again, along with, I think 2 other people.
2 other people.
2 of our kids were with us, and one of them didn't want to go, so they stayed downstairs. And so we walked in a group up there, and there was nobody else in the attic. It was probably about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. It was dark outside. And as we walked together, we walked, as I said, in a group, and we walked kind of, after we put the recorder down, we walked, over by these big cabinets and kind of, they kind of funnel you through there. And then we went to, just kind of walking around this big attic upstairs there, by the way. And then we would talk. And when we played the recorder back later, you could hear us in the distance walking and talking and all that, very clear. And then there was when we played it back, there was a lot of tapping on the thing, lots of tapping, like many, many, many times and things like that. And there was other things too, I just can't remember that. But anyway, so as we walked, you could hear us clearly talking, but we were way away. We were probably like 20, 25 feet away during all of this. And at one point, one of the ladies opened up a cabinet, and it had a whole bunch of dresses from they look like, I would say, the 20s or 30s.
Yeah, they were early.
Yeah, they were very old, and there was a bunch of them in there. And of course, the ladies were fingering through them, looking at them, and and I didn't really have that much interest, but I was watching, as they did this.
They were beautiful. Come on.
And somebody in the group said something like, "I wonder where she is now. I wonder if she's okay." And when we played back we didn't hear anything at the time. When we played back the recorder, we heard very clearly a woman's voice. It sounded like she was like maybe in her 20s or 30s,
Yeah,
I would say,
something
like that. And she very clearly, no mumbling, no nothing, she said, "I'm okay." Well, at the time that we were listening to this, we were downstairs sitting around a kitchen table. It's probably 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And I was looking down at the recorder, listening intently to it. Mm-hmm. And so was this other lady who had done ghost tours before. And we just looked up and locked eyes at each other, like, what the heck? What was that? And we played it back, and I got goosebumps just telling you guys about this. This
was
the
crazy.
Craziest thing. And all 4 of us were at the table, so we all clearly heard this. And so anyway, as we listened farther, this lady talked a couple more times. The time that I remember clearly, the second time I remember clearly that she said anything is as we were walking back around the stuff. I was amazed. It was the first time I was up in the museum in the attic, and I couldn't believe there's thousands and thousands of articles and paperwork and dolls and horse saddles and just documents and stuff. I was just amazed, just a bunch of stuff, obviously. And I said to the lady, I said, "What is the museum going to do with all this stuff? There's just a ton of stuff." And this museum is an old railroad station that was built in 1912. So my understanding is it's owned by the railroad still, and it's leased to the museum. And when I said, what are they going to do with all this stuff, 20 years from now? And she goes, oh, she says, we're going to outgrow this place eventually. They're going to have to move to another location, and they'll probably tear this down. Well, on the video, or the recorder, you could hear our complete conversation very clearly, as you could this other stuff, even though we were 20, 25 feet away. And again, nobody's by this recorder. There's just 4 of us there. And when this lady said that about they're going to eventually tear it down, very clearly, right next to the recorder, into the recorder, you could hear the same lady's voice. She goes, oh no. Again, freaking us all out. It was crazy. So another piece of this whole puzzle that I find really amazing is that I had a recording of this, we had a recording of this whole thing.
A copy of it, yeah.
A copy of it. It was put onto a CD, just probably within weeks or a month after we did this thing. And this was the only copy that we personally had. We're in the process right now of getting ready to try to track the original recording down if we can. But anyway, that recording has disappeared. That CD has disappeared. We're hoping the original is intact. But we looked everywhere. I had it in a bag. So my phone just ran out of storage space as we were finishing up the story. But anyway, just the bottom line is, it's like the universe just took the CD back from us. It's crazy. I had it next to my bed in a bag with some other stuff for at least a year, maybe 2. And I've searched the bag, I searched the bed, in the room, the bedroom. We moved from that house at one point, and we've searched everything. You've searched everything, and we never have been able to find that CD. For me, it was really what put me to, 100%, at least 95% that this is all real stuff. This is just crazy. But hearing that voice, I've never actually seen anything, unless I seen the eyes the other day. That was crazy. But I haven't actually seen things. I've just had many, many things that I've heard, that have happened, that have been around me, and stuff like that. And this was, I heard it, and I know nobody was around that recorder. That was just amazing to me. You could hear us talking 20, 25 feet away. I know everybody was with us for, at least during that whole duration. And I don't think anybody wanted to stray. We were all a little spooked, being our first ghost tour. And we heard this very clearly, that somebody spoke in the recorder. And now I think the universe said, okay, now I'm taking it back. So anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoy the journey with us. We have a lot of stuff that we're going to be putting on here, and talking to people and interviewing people, and we have a lot of subjects. The ghost stuff, we're going to talk to people about, afterlife, and and just a ton of things. I can't even think of them all right now, but we're very excited to get this out to you, and we hope you enjoy the journey with us. Thank you.
Thank you.